Thank you, Mrs. Murata. Good morning, faculty, students, and family. My name is Lindsay Chapel, and I'm going to be talking to you today about anxiety and how to overcome it. First, I'm going to start off with the question you're all probably asking yourself. What is anxiety? Anxiety is your body's physical response to fear. It is that feeling you get when you experience your certain fear. Anxiety can be major or small depending on you. Everyone has a bit of anxiety, whether it's when you get nervous before a test or when you are sweating because you are nervous because you have to perform in front of a lot of people. May I please have my two volunteers come up on stage? Addie and Daphne. Now I'm going to have the two volunteers take balls out of the cup and then put them back in for 10 seconds as fast as they can. Ready, set, go. Good job. How did that feel? That's what anxiety feels like. Thank you, guys. You can go ahead back to your seats. I was diagnosed with anxiety when I was 6 years old, and I still have it today. I feel anxious when I have tons of homework, when people are sick, when I feel claustrophobic, and when I feel overwhelmed. I started with general anxiety. Then at age 11, I got tested for ADHD and then diagnosed. This year, I was diagnosed with OCD. When I'm feeling anxious, I have trouble calming down, and I can't focus in class, and I have trouble prioritizing. Sometimes when I have anxiety attacks, I have these symptoms. My hands start shaking, my hands, arms, and forehead start sweating, my heart starts beating fast, and I start crying. Sometimes I even get stomach aches. My first attack happened when my mom got sick in Disney World. I started crying as soon as my mom got sick, and I couldn't calm down, and I was panicking. I also had an attack with the same situation when my cousin Ella got sick. I improved so much with all the support I got, and now whenever someone gets sick, I know how to handle it. I just walk away and distract myself. A different situation happened when I got claustrophobic in the gym at sleepaway camp. I started getting short breaths, and I started freaking out. I couldn't calm down. Now whenever I get claustrophobic, I step outside for some fresh air and then go back to where I was. An anxiety attack is when you get scared of something and start crying or panicking, and sometimes you have trouble breathing because your heart is beating so fast. So how do I overcome anxiety? Strategies are really helpful when it comes to overcoming it. Some strategies include dropping anchor, deep breaths, and self-talk. Dropping anchor is when you find a quiet place and you sit down and focus on the room around you. You take deep breaths, listen to 5 sounds around the room, and 5 things you see in the room. Self-talk is when you talk to yourself when you need a little pep talk. For example, if you're nervous for a test, you say to yourself, I studied a lot, I know the material, and I'm going to nail it. Deep breaths is when you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth slowly. What this does is it just relaxes you from being anxious. Now I'm going to have the audience take deep breaths. I want you to inhale and exhale slowly, and you're going to look up here for the pace that you're going at. Good job. How did that feel? In order to overcome it, you have to have patience. Overcoming it takes time. The biggest thing I would say is deep breaths. Deep breaths can help with stress and pretty much any type of anxiety. Deep breaths are important because it helps your heart stop racing and it helps you calm down and enjoy the moment. Don't be embarrassed if you do have anxiety or certain fear. Take advantage of it. It could help you in some ways. For example, If you have OCD and you hate things being dirty and being around dirty things, this helps you by not getting germs so easily and not getting sick. Also, it helps you with being cleaner. At first, I struggled at accepting the fact that I have it. I thought I was lonely. I thought I was a freak because I would cry about every little thing. But once I found out I wasn't the only one, I felt a lot better. The big thing that helped me to overcome my anxiety throughout the years is deep breaths. Just taking a moment to breathe and calm down can make a huge difference. Another thing that has helped me over the years is that I have support from my family, parents, and teachers, which leads me to remind you to never be afraid to ask for help. People will always be there for you. Since I've had anxiety for so long, I had to have lots of patience and persistence. It might be hard to overcome it, but I promise you it will get better. Keep up, you could probably guess what I'm going to say, deep breaths, and practice. Having anxiety has helped me to realize and focus on my strengths. These are the things that don't get me anxious when I do them. I'm a good dancer, confident singer, public speaker, and performer. See, having anxiety isn't so bad once you put together the strategies, the support you need, and have a positive outlook. I'm going to end with this quote. Anxiety happens when you think you have to figure out everything all at once. Breathe, you're strong, you've got this, take it day by day. The reason I chose this quote is because it shows that when anything goes wrong and anxiety occurs to you, you're strong and you can get through it no matter what. Thank you all for taking your time to listen. And remember, anxiety is totally normal, and whenever you get nervous, deep breaths. Thank you and have a nice day.